What's up? So it's been quite a while since I properly filmed something. You'll be able to tell straight away, obviously. You know, I've had my hair cut. It makes me look like a 12-year-old. I'm in sort of, you know, summery shirt because it's like, it isn't any warmer, let's face it. It's coming up for July now. Everything I'm going to show you right now I bought at the back end of May. I've just needed to get in there, get in the zone and properly have the drive to film something and not just sort of sit here thinking, oh, I should probably edit my Unicron review that I did ages ago, that you would have seen tiny tidbits of in the channel trailer video I did, which I have to say, if we go off on a little, I really enjoyed making that video tangent. I really enjoyed making that video. It was sort of a really sort of fun thing to do again. But behind the screen, editing and chopping and changing and finding clips of footage that I'd never actually used and going back and finding sort of golden outtakes I'd actually cut out from other bits that I did use and blah blah blah. And I was really happy with that, and it turned out quite a few other people were as well, and I think it's got me a few subscribers, so that's all good. If you are one of those new subscribers, hello! And I apologise for the fact that I haven't put up anything in like a month, and you probably subscribed to me thinking that This Week in Transformers was a regular thing. Ha ha! Imagine that. Anyway, as you've read by the title, everything I've got to show here is from my second trip to all the cool stuff. It was a lot easier the second time, I've got to say, getting down there. But once we got there, I was slightly underwhelmed, it has to be said. But Mr. Tree behind the counter did say that the past 2 times he's been down, the only 2 times he's been down, it's been like a week after he's been to a convention with loads of stuff and sold it all, so there's nothing left in the shop for us. So it's sort of poor timing there, but I wasn't really expecting anything like a Springer there or anything gloriously lovely that I would have looked at, dropped to my knees and just shoved my wallet in his face for. I did have to sort of sweat and stew over what I was going to walk out there with. I didn't want to spend too much money, but at the same time I wanted to spend enough to justify the journey down there because it is almost a 2-hour drive from Bristol. So, that being said, I still think I've walked out with some gems, and I got something else as well, which is the real reason I'm filming this, just so I can tell you the story and go ha 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 and rub it in your face, even though it's not really anything that amazing. But I'm going to put the story into context here and say that when we went in there, this was only like the day after Beast Hunter stuff had come out everywhere. I hadn't seen any Legion figures, so I picked up Smokescreen because, you know, I've been itching for these little guys for such a long time. I was really happy when I got Twin Strike actually the same day as I got all these. But Smokescreen, he's nice, yes. I really like the sort of metallic grey stuff he's made out of. It reminds me a lot of like the movie Legends Sideswipe, and he was excellent. So this guy is excellent. Of course his articulation is a bit because he's got like relatively long arms and legs for a Legion guy, and he only moves at the hips and shoulders, so things just look weird when you pose him. But it's nice that he comes with a Lancer from Gears of War. That'll be the only Xbox reference you'll ever hear me make. But he's definitely recommended. I think all these Legion guys are. I've only picked up 2 of them, you know, and apparently now the wave 2 of them is in Sainsbury's and Asda if you're lucky, and not in mine. So you can get a bit of a further way to competing in Abominus because there's a Hunger and for some reason a Windraiser in there. I'm sure that's meant to be wave 3, but anyway, you'll see. I'm just going to blurt it out now. I've got the deluxe one. You'll see that in the next video. I think this guy is in some way a little bit better. He seems more accurate in some details, like the 38s on his doors. Oh, I'm just going to transform him. It would be easier to show you the things when he's a car. So you've got a nice little car that is meant to be a McLaren MP4C. I only vaguely know what that car is because of watching Top Gear, and I have to say I did have to Google it when TF Wiki said this was meant to be what that was. It isn't that. Seriously guys, where is the resemblance to that car? It is very loose indeed, but it's just still very nice. It's all shiny, shiny windows, shiny lights, and yes, the 38 on the side there is the Darn Sight more show accurate than the deluxe one. And I think overall, somehow, with the proportions and everything, this vehicle mode ends up looking a bit better. Maybe it's not because it's completely white and it's actually shiny. I don't know. Of course, I am a sucker for shiny things. Odd thing to point out, all the details on the back are completely different to the ones you'll find on the deluxe. So, which one's right? Who knows? Moving along in size, as it were, I've got some more data discs, and I've got ones that I sort of, really wanted, or at least one that I really wanted. So I've got Rewind and Sunder, and I'm going to drop them. Sunder is an orange Laserbeak. It took me far too long to realise that this is basically a new Armada Laserbeak, because of course they wouldn't be able to call him. Yeah, he's all bright orange and yellow and grey, and he has loads more paint than Laserbeak does. It makes Laserbeak seem really cheap by comparison, but I suppose with him being a pack-in figure, it would have been more likely that it would have looked worse anyway. He's got an Autobot symbol on his head, and he's actually got eyes painted in and a beak, and all of this. And he's very colourful, and I have no idea who the hell he is. Once again, you have to go to TWIT for these things, and I really don't want to go anywhere near the Kiss Players fiction. Please get out of my canon. So I'm just gonna think of Sunder as, to me this is just a new Armada Laserbeak, and they took the name of an orange Laserbeak Autobot and stuck it on him because they couldn't call him Laserbeak. I don't know. He's nice. Somehow he's nice. And his bio says he likes dubstep. I'm just going to throw you over here now. The main event, of course, is Rewind. Because, I wanted a figure of Rewind because I love More Than Meets the Eye so much, and this is the closest thing that I'm able to get. Of course, it bears almost no resemblance to how he looks in the comics, and it's just a heavily remoulded Frenzy / Rumble. But it's still, it's so nice. Somehow, it is just very, very nice indeed. It's got loads of shiny gold, and against the lovely black, it just looks really good. And I don't care that he can only move his arms. He's little. He also converts. It's fun. It's Rewind. You can just have a lot of fun with him, Like, this episode of TWIT could have repercussions! Oh, Chrome don't know! On to the next thing. This is a purchase solely made because I was on a pretty big Power Core Combiners kick at the time I went down there. Before I'd gone back to Bristol, I was at home mucking about with all mine, doing loads of different combinations and everything, possibly fueled by the fact that people on Twitter were putting up loads of pictures and all of this, and I was like, I've got to get mine out and muck about with them properly. And I decided that I want to get all of them. But of course now the ones I don't have aren't that expensive, but only the 2-packs. I need some more drones, but they're just, I would like some more 5-packs, but I guess I've got the best ones, so I'm happy about that. When I saw this guy, even though he was a $5 in Toys R Us for a long time, and he was like bloating the shelves there, he suddenly disappeared and then has really become quite expensive on eBay. So when I saw him for $14.99, which is a bit much for a 2-pack figure, I thought, yes, Salvage, you're coming home with me. This is the first repaint of a Power Core Combiner figure I have. He's repainting a Mudslinger, and it is a bit of a shame that there isn't a lot of paint difference going on here. He's still got grey and blue arms, he's still got a blue head. All the bits that are black would be black on Mudslinger, it's just that they've changed all the green bits to blue. It's a bit of a shame, but in some respects is a nicer deco, and I don't know, they're sort of similar but different enough that it's okay to have both. At least I didn't give him red eyes, so that's all okay. He comes with a repaint of what, in my opinion, might be the best Power Core Minicon as well. Bombburst. It's a red chain claw, basically. He's just a really nice little robot design. He's got claw hands and big square legs, and not really any discernible face. It's a Minicon, and he turns into a missile thing, and he's all translucent red, which is actually a shade that doesn't quite gel with my eyes. I don't know, it looked the exact same shade as some boiled sweets that I know of. But it's called Bombburst, which is one of the better names from G1 that you can slap on someone that actually fires bombs rather than here's some odd vampire thing. And so that completes the amount of figures that I paid for. What I didn't pay for, I actually think I enjoy a lot more than all of the stuff I did. Maybe it's because I didn't pay for it. But here goes the story. As we'd all paid for our stuff and we were saying our goodbyes to Mr. Tree, he said, hold on a minute, pulled a figure off the peg and said, I'm going to let one of you have this ugly expletive for free because I just can't shift them. A little while before we'd gone down, they told us that he'd gone to a show and there were like 80,000 people there passing by his stall, and out of all of those people that were there, he only managed to sell one of this figure. It's a Beast Hunters figure. It's one that is actually, new in the Wave 3 case, and I looked at it and thought, that actually looks as bad as I thought it was going to. I'm not going to touch you. You're going back on the peg. But through luck, I'm not sure if it was luck. Maybe it was just I was destined to have it or something. I wouldn't really call it bad luck now. At the time, I thought, oh God, I'm taking this away for reals. We drew lots on it. No, it wasn't really lots. It was flip a coin. If you get it right, then you go through to the next round sort of elimination thing. And I won. And what I won is something which I could see as nothing but an awful abomination when it was revealed, and subsequently when I saw it in the shop. But now I've had it open and in my hands, and I've had a chance to just muck about with it. It's good. It is. I have to recommend it. I have to. I can't not, because I've had too much fun with this thing. It's Beast Hunters Ratchet. I got him for free. This was marked up at 17 quid in the shop and I got it for free. The biggest figure out of everything I came away from there, I got through the toss of a coin. That was a good day. It's safe to say that was a very good day. So I know what you're thinking already, because that's what I thought. Dear God, Ratchet, what did they do to you? Why are you covered in what looks like loads and loads of seafood? And I don't know, you've gone a bit crazy with some highlighters and just what? Just what? But it's good. Somehow I really like it. Let's talk about the silly weapon first, which is something that isn't really that great. It's a drill. It's bright green. You push this and sometimes it spins around. The mechanism isn't very good. You split it open and there's like a Gatling gun inside. So it's basically Beast Wars Dinobot's gun. And it's big and shiny blue, and it's the colours are awful, let's face it. Just garbage. Yeah. But somehow it's fun because you stick it on his arm and do this and it's all like, yeah, drilling stuff. I'm going to have to tell you what the instructions say this weapon is. It's called a Dragon Shredder drill, and because of all this new Tales of the Beast Hunters cack you get on the instruction sheets, or at least on the American ones, because there's nothing like it on the European stuff. They just leave it out completely, don't even bother trying to translate it. It says on the big thing here, Dragon Shredder drill generates an anesthetic vortex that numbs and disables targets. No. I guess that's why it's bright green. Or that's their excuse for making it bright green. It's a medical implement. It also says on here that it's an ancient tool used for some less delicate surgical procedures. What kind of surgical procedure involves a drill that is the size of your own arm? It also says it fires pellets that contain surgical nanorobots that can repair or dismantle a target. If you watch a lot of Ray's videos, I'm sure you can imagine the sort of reaction he would muster to this sort of awful biocack. And please replicate it in your head as I'm doing now. Just why? Just no. It's a drill. It's got a gun inside. Let's leave it at that. Try not to forcibly make it fit with Ratchet being a doctor, because this thing is not going to help you. It's going to kill you brutally and leave lots of rust in your wounds. Yes, for some reason Ratchet has become Dinobot. He's got a sort of chest like Dinobot 2, and his head has got, he's got the same sort of laser eye in there, and he's all pointy, and it looks like he's got big teeth. It's weird, but I'm not going to say I don't like it, because it does actually end up looking really cool. He's got these sort of metallic blue shivs sculpted in there. That looks cool. I really like that. And I like the overall sort of remoulding going on. All the pointy bits on his legs and these sort of angular shins, and I like his sort of square feet. He looks like he has been beaten up and has put himself back together with junk. Or, I don't know, I came up with so many different sort of backstories for this guy as to why he looks like this. He could be a time traveller. This is Ratchet from a post-apocalyptic future, where he's even older than he normally would be and is just falling apart, and he's had to put himself together with all of this, and it would explain the weird glowing thing in his chest and the massive turbine on his back. He's got like a time machine inside him, and he comes back from the future to warn everyone about how bad it is, and he's been through so many battles because he's all patched up with junk and he's all rusty or something. This is a figure that makes you think. It does something to your imagination. It's like, ooh, cool, why's Ratchet like that now? Other than just some really, really weird choice by someone at Hasbro. So, while I'm transforming this thing, the long and short of it is that I've ended up getting a figure that I probably should have thought about getting, and you probably should too, because somehow, honestly, somehow, it is so much fun once you've got it in your hands. Especially if you don't have normal RID Ratchet, because that's a good figure too, and I guess I've sort of tried to justify having both by making up these weird backstories and all that sort of guff. But just look at this crazy death ambulance and tell me that it's not slightly cool. It's just insane. It's mental, honestly. It's... I don't know. I just don't really know what to make of it. It's got this huge jet engine on the back here with loads of details that really should have been picked out with paint. And then you remember that there's actually a lot of paint on this guy. I mean, forget about the horrible bright green. All of the red stuff is paint. All of the white stuff is paint. All of the silver stuff is paint. All of the weird blue on these headlight spikes here, that's paint. So, you can see why they didn't have any left over to pick out all the cool details on here. And, maybe you just go to town customising that. I'm sure that would look really cool, putting some, I don't know, silver and all these pipes and all of that. But I'm going to leave it, because I honestly don't care anymore about how this thing looks, because the way it feels is good. It's spiky, it's crazy, it's some sort of jet ramming speed ambulance. I don't know how this is going to get anyone away from the scene of an accident. It's got a massive exposed engine block, and I love it. I honestly do. There is really something about this that I just dig, and I don't think anything has ever sort of offered this same kind of look. But honestly, give this a go. When this pops up in Tesco's, especially if it's reduced, go and get it then. I think it's worth 13 quid if you buy it in a shop. But of course, it's up to you. The horrible sort of dead prawn colour scheme is something you've got to get used to, and just keep reminding yourself it's rust. It's not crustacean matter, or someone's been sick on him. It's rust. It's not vomit. It's not vomit. It's not. It really is. This is so just... Someone threw up on this, and that's where all the different colours come from. End of story. But the moral of that story is that give figures a chance if, like me, you looked at this and thought, dear God, what did they do to Ratchet? He's like the best character in Prime, and this is sullying his name. Just give it a go, you know? I mean, I like Ratchet, and maybe that's helped me like this figure. Although I do tend to not think of it as Ratchet because it's so completely alien. And definitely don't look a gift horse in the mouth because, you know, I got given this for free. And I was all like, oh no, he's gonna give me the worst figure he's got on a peg. But it really isn't. I love it. It's recommended. Go and buy Beast Hunters Ratchets from Mr. Tree in all the cool stuff, because he can't sell them. So I think I've rambled on about all that lot for quite long enough. It's safe to say this was a lovely haul. It was just great to walk out of there with a nice big bag full of all these different bots. Got some old PCC stuff that floats my boat really good. Got some nice shiny Fall of Cybertron stuff. Got some Beast Hunter stuff. It was all good, and I don't know when I'm going to get a haul as good as that again. I mean, it's nice that shops are spitting out the odd good thing here and there now, but I'm slowly running out of money and I'm in need of a job. So yeah, like I said, I've still got some bits to show you, and hopefully that'll be, you know, the next video that won't take so long for me to put out, because after all, in the last video I said that there was another half, and this is the second half to that, in case you were wondering, and I'm sorry. I'm also sorry if it seems like I've been a bit absent in people's comment feeds and all that, because while the dongle I've got for viewing the internet on is pretty darn good at uploading stuff, it has to be said, it doesn't really let me watch videos. And that's just a bummer, because I want to be watching what everyone is putting out. And I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again, you know, I'm sorry if it seems like I haven't been able to watch your stuff, because I just haven't been able to. I want to keep up with what everyone is doing, and I think that is a bit of a reason why I've just been a bit sort of hesitant to actually put the camera on and sit and talk, because I've had no motivation from other people. I haven't seen everyone else filming stuff and talking about stuff, and it hasn't got me in the mood to film and talk about stuff. But now it's done, and I've enjoyed it, and lots of lovely robots I've got here, and I've got some right belters to show you next, so stay tuned, and hopefully it won't be like 2 weeks till you see it. Ha ha ha. Now I've said that, it's going to be, isn't it?